All right. Welcome, everybody, back to the fourth period edition of Woodward Academy's first annual Shakespearean Sonnet Slam / Festival. Today is Shakespeare's 450th birthday bash. We thought it was a great idea on this glorious morning to perform Shakespearean sonnets. All right, now here's what's going to happen for this period. If you are performing, you want to come around to the stairs to my left, to your right. I will introduce you and the sonnet you'll be performing. All right, you will then exit the stage on my right to your left. All right, then we'll repeat the process for sonnets number 75 through 101 today. Now, without further ado, I'm going to introduce the first Shakespearean speaker. We have our reading sonnet number 75 from a holdover from last period. We have our very own assistant principal, John Merrill.
So rub his head. All right. Sonnet 75. So are you to my thoughts as food to life, or as sweet seasoned showers are to the ground? And for the peace of you I hold such strife, as twixt a miser and his wealth is found. Now proud as an enjoyer and anon, doubting the filching age will steal his treasure. Now counting best to be with you alone, then better that the world may see my pleasure. Sometime all full with feasting on your sight, and by clean starved for a look, possessing or pursuing no delight, save what is had or must from you be took. Thus do I pine and surfeit day by day, or gluttoning on it all, or all away. Thank you.
Very good. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. All right, thank you very much, Assistant Principal John Merrill. All right, now coming to the Shakespearean Sonnet stage, we have a reading of Shakespearean Sonnet number 76 by Callie Winans. All right, now remember Winans. Sorry, Winans. All right, now remember when you all come up, make sure you rub Shakespeare's head we have here, which is on loan from our very own Coach Crook, before you come up and perform, just like they do at the Apollo. All right, here you go. Yes, rub his head for good luck. There you go.
Sonnet 76. Why is my verse so barren of new pride, so far from variation or quick change? Why with the time do I not glance aside to newfound methods and to compound strange? Why write I still all one, ever the same, and keep invention in a noted weed, that every doth word almost tell my name, showing their birth, and where did they proceed? Oh no, sweet love, I always write of you, and you and love are still my argument. So all my best is dressing old words new, spending again what is already spent. For as the sun is daily new and old, so is my love still telling what is told.
All right, coming to the stage next, we have Sasha Litovchenko, reading sonnet number 77.
Sonnet number 77. Thy glass will show thee how thy beauties wear, thy dial how thou precious minutes waste, the vacant leaves thy mind's imprint will bear, and of this book this yearning mayest thou taste. The wrinkles which thy glass will truly show, of mouthed grapes will give thee memory, that by thy dial's shady stealth mayest know, time's thievish progress to eternity. Look, what thy memory cannot contain, commit to these waste blanks, and thou shalt find those children nursed, delivered from thy brain, to take a new acquaintance of thy mind. These offices, so oft as thou wilt look, shall profit thee and much enrich thy book.
All right, thank you very much, Sasha. All right, up next to the Sonnet Slam podium, we have Miss Catherine Labriola, who will be reciting sonnet number 78. Yes, for good luck. Let it go the Apollo.
All right. Sonnet 78. So oft have I invoked thee for my muse, and found such fair assistance in my verse, as every alien pen hath got my use, and under thee their posy disperse. Thine eyes that taught the dumb on high to sing, and heavy ignorance aloft to fly, have added feathers to the learned's wing, and given grace a double majesty. Yet be most proud of that which I compile, whose influence is thine and born of thee. In others' work thou dost but mend the style, and arts with thy sweet graces graced be. But thou art all my art, and dost advance as high as learning my rude ignorance.
All right, thank you very much. Now, up to the podium next, we have Miss Raleigh Schatz, who will be performing Shakespearean Sonnet number 79.
This is Sonnet 79. Whilst I alone did call upon thy aid, my verse alone had all thy gentle grace. But now my gracious numbers are decayed, and my sick muse doth give another place. I grant, sweet love, thy lovely argument deserves the travail of a worthier pen. Yet what of thee thy poet doth invent, he robs thee of, and pays it thee again. He lends thee virtue, and he stole that word. From thy behavior beauty doth he give, and found it in thy cheek. He can afford no praise to thee, but what in thee doth live. Then thank him not for that which he doth say, since what he owes thee thou thyself dost pay.
All right, thank you very much, Raleigh. Up next, we have the reading of Shakespearean Sonnet number 80 by Laura Burleson.
Oh, how I faint when I of you do write, knowing a better spirit doth use your name, and in the praise thereof spends all his might to make me tongue-tied speaking of your name. But since your worth wide as the ocean is, the humble as the proudest sail doth bear, my saucy bark inferior far to his, on your broad main doth wilfully appear. Your shallowest help will hold me up afloat, whilst he upon your soundless deep doth ride, or being wrecked I am a worthless boat, he of tall building and goodly pride. Then if he thrive and I be cast away, the worst was this, my love was my decay.
All right, thank you very much. Now, up next to the stage, we have the reading of Shakespearean Sonnet number 81 by Matt Park.
Not Matt Park.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Alan Michael Capoe.
Okay. Sorry.
It's actually Alan Michael Capoe, not Matt Park. All right. Sonnet 81. Or I shall live your epitaph to make, or you survive when I in earth am rotten. From hence your memory death cannot take, although in me each part will be forgotten. Your name from hence immortal life shall have, though I, once gone, to all the world must die. The earth can yield me but in common grave. When you entombed in men's eyes shall lie, your monument shall be my gentle verse, which eyes not yet created shall ever read, and tongues to be your being shall rehearse. When all the breathers of this world are dead, you shall live, such virtue hath my pen, where breathe most breathes in the mouths of men.
Sorry about that. All right, that was a substitute for Matt Park. I apologize. All right, now, continuing on, we have the reading of Shakespearean Sonnet number 82 by Natalie Milton.
I grant thou wert not married to my muse, and therefore mayest without a taint or look the dedicated words which writers use of their fair subject blessing every book. Thou art as fair in knowledge as in hue, finding thy worth a limit past my praise, and therefore art enforced to seek anew some fresher stamp of the time-bettering days. And do so, love, yet when they have devised what strained touches rhetoric can lend, though truly wert truly sympathized in true plain words by thy true-telling friend. And their gross painting might be better used where cheeks need blood and thee it is abused.
Thank you very much, Natalie. Now, coming to the stage next, we have the reading of Shakespearean Sonnet number 83 by Miss Ruth Shapiro.
I never saw that you did painting need, and therefore to your fair no painting sat. I found, or thought I found, you did exceed the barren tender of a poet's dat, and therefore have I slept in your report, that you yourself, being extant, well might show how far a modern quill doth quote doth come too short. Speaking of worth, what worth in you doth grow. This silence for my sin you did impute, for which shall be most my glory, being dumb. For I impair not beauty, being mute. When others would give life and bring a tomb, there lives more life in one of your fair eyes than both your poets can in praise devise.
All right, thank you very much. Now, coming up to the stage now, we have the reading of Shakespearean Sonnet, number 84 by Pooja David. Rub his head first, rub his head. Yep.
Okay. Who is it that says most? Which can say more than this rich praise, that you alone are you? In whose confine immured is the store, which should example where your equal grew? Lean penury within that pen doth dwell, that to his subject lends not some small glory. But he that writes of you, if he can tell, that you are you, so dignifies his story. Let him but copy what in you is writ, not making worse what nature made so clear. In such a counterpart shall fame his wit, making his style admired everywhere. You to your beauteous blessings add a curse, beyond fond or on praise, which makes your praises worse.
All right, thank you very much, Pooja. Now, coming up next, we have the reading of Shakespearean Sonnet number 85 that will be performed by Miss Rachel Erbrick.
My tongue-tied muse in manners holds her still, while comments of your praise, richly compiled, reserve their character with golden quill, and precious phrase by all the muses filed. I think good thoughts whilst other write good words, and like unlettered clerks still cry amen. To every hymn that able spirit affords, in polished form of well-refined pen, hearing you praised, I say, 'tis so, 'tis true, and to the most of praise add something more. But that is in my thought, whose love to you, the words come hindmost holds his rank before. Then others for the breath of words respect, me for my dumb thoughts speaking in effect.
All right, very good, Rachel. All right, now, coming up next, we have the reading of Shakespearean Sonnet number 86, which will be performed and recited by Miss Allie Gordon.
Was it the proud full sail of his great voice, bound for the prize of all too precious you, that did my ripe throughout my brains and hearse, making their tomb the womb wherein they grew? Was it his spirit, by spirits taught to write, above a moral pitch that struck me dead? No, neither he nor his compeers by night, giving him aid, my verse astonished. He nor that affable familiar ghost, which nightly gulls him with intelligence, as victors of my silence cannot boast, I was not sick of any fear from thence. But when your countenance filled up his line, then lacked I matter that enfeebled mine.
All right, thank you very much. Now, coming up next, we have the reading of Shakespearean Sonnet number 87, which will be performed by Miss Nava Amalford. Make sure you rub his head so good luck.
Farewell, thou art too dear for my possessing, and like enough thou know'st thy estimate. The charter of thy worth gives thee releasing. My bonds in thee are all determinate. For how do I hold thee but by thy granting? And for that riches, where is my deserving? The cause of this fair gift in me is wanting, and so my patent back again is swerving. Thyself thou gavest, thy own then knowing, then not knowing, or me to whom thou gavest it else mistaking. So thy great gift upon misprison growing, come home again, on better judgment making. Thus have I had thee as a dream doth flatter, in sleep a king, but waking no such matter.
All right, thank you very much. Now we have coming up next the reading of Shakespearean Sonnet number 88. This time it will be recited by Caroline Arnold.
When thou shalt be disposed to set me light, and place my merit in the eye of scorn, upon thy side against myself I'll fight, and prove thee virtuous, though thou art forsworn. With mine own weakness being best acquainted, upon thy part I can set down a story, of faults concealed wherein I am attainted, that thou in losing me shall win much glory. And I by this will be a gainer too, for bending all my loving thoughts on thee, the injuries that to myself I do, doing thee vantage, double vantage me. Such is my love, to thee I so belong, that for thy right myself will bear all wrong.
All right, thank you very much. Now, for our last sonnet before our hip-hop Shakespeare dance ensemble interlude, we will have the reading of Shakespearean sonnet number 89, which will be performed by Mr. Austin Barrett.
Okay. Say that thou didst forsake me for some fault, and I will comment upon that offense. Speak of my lameness, and I straight will halt, against thy reasons making no defense. Thou canst not, love, disgrace me half so ill, to set a form upon desired change. As I'll myself disgrace, knowing thy will, I will acquaintance strangle and look strange. Be absent from thy walks, and in my tongue thy sweet beloved name no more shall dwell. Lest I, too much profane, should do it wrong, and haply of our old acquaintance tell. For thee against myself I'll vow debate, for I must ne'er love him who thou dost hate.
All right, thank you very much, Austin. Now, if I may turn the audience attention from the second floor of Richardson to the first floor. All right, we have a particular interlude by the Woodward Academy Dance Ensemble. They will be performing Hip Hop Shakespeare, sonnet number 18, done by Devin Glover.
Shall I compare thee? Shall I compare thee? Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a day. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and northern is his gold complexion dim. And every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death drag thou wanderest in its shade, where in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee.
Sunny day, you can chase my clouds away. I'll be with you every day. Come on, baby, let's fly away. Come and be my sunny day. You can chase my clouds away. I'll be with you every day. Come on, baby, let's fly away.
You remind me of the weather in the middle of June. So nice, no clouds in the sky. It always seems like summer's ending too soon. So my limited time, I wanna spend it with you. Every good thing ends. I'm gonna pretend that your godly skin won't be gone with the wind. The forces of nature could change you, transform an angel to a complete stranger. In hindsight, your beauty helps my eyesight, so I write insights about your highlights. It's written in stone so no one could rewrite. Please come and be my sunny delight. You're the perfect memory I don't wanna throw away. I write about your beauty so it never goes away. My love is immortal, my thoughts are eternal. Your looks are forever, I wrote it in my journal.
Come and be my sunny day. You can chase my clouds away. I'll be with you every day. Come on, baby, let's fly away. Come and be my sunny day. You can chase my clouds away. I'll be with you every day. Come on, baby, let's fly away.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? I write about you cause you're always on my mind. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? You shine bright like the third eye in the sky. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines. We could form a bond so hot, you and I. Sometimes too hot, the eye of heaven shines. And now I got you, I see love is not blind. Thy eternal summer shall not fade. Stay hot forever when we are together. Thy eternal summer shall not fade. It shall stay the same like it was the first day. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see. As long as I'm living and men have vision. So long lives this, and this gives life to thee, to thee, to thee.
Come and be my sunny day. You can chase my clouds away. I'll be with you every day. Come on, baby, let's fly away. Come and be my sunny day. You can chase my clouds away. I'll be with you every day. Come on, baby, let's fly away.
Sonnet 18 from Mr. Shakespeare. You rockin' with the Sonnet, man. Now watch me break it down. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Woodward Academy owns Dance Ensemble. Let's give a hand of applause, a very good performance. All right, that was Hip Hop Shakespeare, sonnet number 18 by Devin Glover, and you had a dance performance by the Woodward Academy Dance Ensemble. All right, now without further ado, we will continue on with the readings of Shakespearean sonnet number 90, this time recited by Mr. Kevin Brown.
Then hate me when thou wilt, if ever now. Now while the world is bent my deeds to cross, join with the spite of fortune, make me bow, and do not drop in for an after loss. Ah, do not, when my heart hath scaped this sorrow, come in the rearward of a conquered woe. Give not a windy night a rainy morrow, to linger out a purposed overthrow. If thou wilt leave me, do not leave me last, when other petty griefs have done their spite, but in the onset come, so shall I taste, at first the very worst of fortune's might. And other strains of woe, which now seem woe, compared with loss of thee, will not seem so.
All right. Coming to the Sonnet stage next, we have a special performance for you. We have the reading of Shakespearean Sonnet number 91 by Miss Ryan Poe, and she'll be performing the actual sonnet in Spanish, and I'll be performing this exact same sonnet in English for the translation. Ryan? Okay.
Uno se vanaglorian de la estirpe de saber el vigor o la fortuna. Otros de la agencia extravagante o de pasiones libriles y caballos. Cada carácter un placer comporta cuya alegría a las demás excede, pero estas decisiones no me alcanzan, pues tengo algo mejor que las incluye. En altura, tu amor vence a la liange soberbia al untundo, al oro en fasto el jubilo al de pasiones y corazones. Tiéndote todo el auguro es mío, mi única miseria es pudieras quitarme todo en miseria juderme.
Para ellos que no hablan español, ella se dijo. What she said was this, sonnet number 91, William Shakespeare. Some glory in their birth, some in their skill, some in their wealth, some in their body's force, some in their garments, though newfangled ill, some in their hawks and hounds, some in their horse, and every humor hath his adjunct pleasure, wherein it finds a joy above the rest. But these particulars are not my measure. All these I better in one general best. Thy love is better than high birth to me, richer than wealth, prouder than garments cost. of more delight than hawks or horses be. And having thee, of all men's pride I boast. Wretched is this alone that thou mayest take, all this away, and me most wretched make. All right, coming to the stage, we have a very special performance by our own Dean here at Woodward Academy. We have the reading of Shakespearean Sonnet number 92 by Dean Anthony Thomas. But do thy worst to steal thyself away, for term of life thou art assured mine, and life no longer than thy love will stay, for it depends upon that love of thine. Then need I not to fear the worst of wrongs, when in the least of them my life hath end. I see a better state to me belongs, than that which on thy humor doth depend. Thou canst not vex me with inconstant mind, since that my life on thy revolt doth lie. Oh, what a happy title do I find, happy to have thy love, happy to die. But what so blessed fare that fears no blot? Thou mayest be false, and yet I know it not. Drop the mic. All right, not to be outdone, up next we have the reading of Shakespearean Sonnet number 93. This time it'll be recited by Dean Luke Underwood.
So shall I live, supposing thou art true, like a deceived husband. So love's face may still seem love to me, though altered new. Thy looks with me, thy heart in another place, for there can live no hatred in thy eye. Therefore in that I cannot know thy change. In many looks, the false heart's history is written moods and frowns and wrinkles strange. But heaven in thy creation did decree that in thy face sweet love should ever dwell. Whatever thy thoughts or thy heart's workings be, thy looks should nothing thence but sweetness tell. How like Eve's apple doth thy beauty grow, if thy sweet virtue answer not thy show.
All right, thank you very much, Dean Underwood. Now, we have another special performance. Up next, we have the reading of Sonnet number 94 by Marcelestine Clincy, and she will be performing this particular sonnet in Espanol.
Soneto 94. Aquellos que tienen el poder de dañar y no lo hacen. Aquellos que no hacen todo aquello que más demuestran. Y que conmoviendo a las demás son en sí como piedras, imperturbables, fríos y lentos para la tentación. Eraden justamente los pluviolos del cielo y economizan del despilfarro las riquezas de la naturaleza. Son los amos y señores de sus propios rostros. Los demás solo son servidores de su excelencia. La flor de verano es dulce para el verano, aunque solo vive y mere para sí misma. Pero si esa flor se pone en contacto con una vil infección, la más vil cizaña supera su dignidad, pues las cosas más dulces se agrian por sus acciones. Los liros que se pudren huelen mucho peor que la cizaña.
All right, thank you very much. Now, for those of you who don't speak Spanish, what you said was, they that have power to hurt and will do none, that do not do the thing they most do show, who, moving others, are themselves as stone, unmoved, cold, and to temptation slow. They rightly do inherit heaven's graces and husband nature's riches from expense. They are the lords and owners of their faces, others but stewards of their excellence. The summer's flower is to the summer's sweet, though to itself it only live and die. But if that flower With base infection meat, the basest weed outbraves his dignity. For sweetest things turn sourest by their deeds. Lilies that fester smell far worse than weeds. Up next, we have the reading of Shakespearean Sonnet number 95, this time by Chris Myers.
Thank you. How sweet and lovely dost thou make the shame, which like a canker in the fragrant rose, doth spot the beauty of thy budding name. Oh, in what sweets dost thou thy sins enclose, that tongue that tells the story of thy days, making lascivious comments on thy sport, cannot dispraise, but in a kind of praise. Naming thy name blesses an ill rapport. Oh, what a mansion have those vices got, for which their habitation chose out thee, where beauty's veil doth cover every blot, and all things turn to fair that eyes can see. Take heed, dear heart, of this large privilege. The hardest knife ill used doth lose its edge.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Myers. All right, now, coming to the Shakespearean Sonnet stage, up next, we have the reading of Sonnet number 96, with a special performance by Woodward Academy's very own Miss Rhonda Zenz, and a double special performance because she will be actually performing this particular sonnet first in French and then in English. All right, Miss Zenz. All right, you gotta rub. Good luck. Look at the Apollo.
Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs, je vous donne le sonnet 96. Certains disent ta faute, c'est la jeunesse. Certains libertinage. Certains disent que ta grâce est la jeunesse et le sport en douceur. La grâce et défauts sont animés de plus et moins. Tu rends les défauts les grâces qui te stationnent, comme sur le doigt d'une reine. Le plus laid bijou sera bien estimé. Ainsi sont les erreurs que l'on voit en toi, pour vérité traduite et pour des choses vraies et réputées. Combien de moutons le loup pourrait trahir? Si comme un agneau il pourrait traduire ses regards, combien de contemplateurs pourraient conduire loin? Si tu veux utiliser la force de tout son état, mais ne fais pas. Je t'aime dans ce genre comme tu sois le mien. Le mien est un bon rapport. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Sonnet 96 in English. Some say thy fault is youth, some wantonness. Some say thy grace is youth and gentle sport. Both grace and faults are loved of more and less. Thou makest false graces that to thee resort, as on the finger of a throne-graved queen. The basest jewel will be well esteemed. So are those errors that in thee are seen, to truths translated, and for true things deemed. How many lambs might the stern wolf betray, if like a lamb he could look, his looks translate? How many gazers mightest thou lead astray, if thou wouldst use the strength of all thy state? But do not so. I love thee in such sort, as thou being mine, mine is thy good resort.
All right, thank you very much, Mrs. Zenz. All right, now up to the podium, we're going to have the reading of Shakespearean Sonnet number 97. It will be recited by Ms. Daria Hussein. All right, Daria, rub the head for good luck.
How like a winter has my absence been from thee, the pleasure of the fleeting year. What freezings have I felt, what dark days seen, what old December's bareness everywhere. And yet this time removed was summer's time, the teeming autumn, big with rich increase, bearing the wanton burden of the prime, like widowed wombs after their lord's decease. Yet this abundant issue seemed to me but hope of orphans and unfathered fruit. For summer and his pleasures wait on thee, and thou away, the very birds are mute. Or, if they sing, 'tis with so dull a cheer, that leaves look pale, dreading the winter is near.
All right, thank you very much, Daria. Now, coming up to the stage next, we have a reading of Shakespearean sonnet number 98, which will be performed by Mr. Cole Daly. Cole?
All right, rub his head for good luck. There you go.
Sonnet 98. From you have I been absent in the spring, where proud pied April dressed in all his trim hath put a spirit of youth in everything. That heavy Saturn laughed and leapt with him, yet nor the lays of birds, nor the sweet smell of different flowers in odor and hue, could make me any summer story tell, or from the proud lap pluck them from where they grew. Nor did I wonder at the white lilies, nor praise at the deep vermilion in the rose. They were but sweet, but figured of delight. Drawn after you, you pattern of all those, yet seemed in the winter still, and you away, as with your shadows I did play.
All right, thank you very much, Cole. All right, now we have a special guest performance coming up next. Coming up to the podium, we have our very own Woodward Academy Assistant Principal, Mr. Mark Carrington, who will be reciting Shakespearean sonnet number 99.
I've been watching this all day.
Yeah, okay, good.
Sonnet 99 by William Shakespeare. The forward violet thus did I chide, sweet thief, whence didst thou steal thy sweet that smells, if not from my love's breath? The purple pride which on thy soft cheek for complexion dwells, in my love's veins thou hast too grossly dyed. The lily I condemned for thy hand, and buds of marjoram had stolen thy hair. The roses fearfully on thorns did stand, one blushing shame, another white despair. A third, nor red nor white, had stolen of both, and to this robbery had annexed thy breath. But for this theft, in pride of all his growth, a vengeful canker eat him up to death. More flowers I noted, yet I none could see, but sweet or color it had stolen from thee.
Sounded great. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Carrington. He sounded very Shakespearean. I thought I was back in Stratford-upon-Avon. All right, anyway. We have another special guest performance today. Reading Shakespearean sonnet number 100, we have our very own Woodward Academy Vice President, Ms. Marcia Spiller. Ms. Spiller? I just said before, you got to rub Shakespeare's head. Yeah, the Apollo, right? Good luck. Good luck.
Sonnet 100. Where art thou, Muse, that thou forgetst so long to speak of that which gives thee all thy might? Spent'st thou thy fury on some worthless song, darkening thy power to lend base subjects light? Return, forgetful Muse, and straight redeem, in gentle numbers time so idly spent. Sing to the ear that doth thy lays esteem, and gives thy pen both skill and argument. Rise, restive Muse, my love's sweet face survey, if time have any wrinkle graven there. If any, be a satire to decay, and make time's spoils despised everywhere. Give my love fame faster than time wastes life, so thou preventst his scythe and crooked knife.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right. We have a reading of Sonnet 101, this time by Omri Rigby. And as far as I can tell, Omri is not here. So in true guerrilla Shakespearean Sonnet Slam Festival fashion, instead of having the MC do an impromptu performance, we will do an impromptu performance by any member of the audience who wants to come up and perform. All right, come on up. Perform Sonnet number 101.
My name is Michael Adams. O trant muse, what shall be thy amends? For thy neglect of truth and beauty died. Both truth and beauty on my love depends. So dost thou too, and therein dignified. Make answer, muse, wilt thou not happily say, truth needs no color, with its color fixed. Beauty no pencil, beauty truth to lay. But best is best, if never intermixed. Because he needs no praise, wilt thou be dumb? Excuse not silence so, for it lies in thee, to make him much outlive a glittered tomb, and to be praised of ages yet to be. Then do thy office, muse, I teach thee how, to make him seem long hence as he shows now. Thank you.
All right, now ordinarily that would be the end of the performances for fourth period. However, all right, in true guerrilla Shakespeare Sonnet Slam fashion, we have an impromptu performance. All right, coming to the stage, we have Charles Jackson, who will be performing not a Shakespearean sonnet, but perhaps the most famous sonnet in English literature. It's sonnet number 43 by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Charles?
How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee to the depth and the breadth and the height my soul can reach when feeling out of sight. For the ends of being an ideal grace, I love thee to the level of every day's most quiet need by sun and candlelight. I love thee freely as men strive for right. I love thee purely as they turn for praise. I love thee with the passion put to use. I love my old griefs, and with my childhood's faith, I love thee with a love I seem to lose with my lost saints. I love thee with the breath, smiles, tears, all of all my life. And if God choose, I shall but love thee better after death.
All right. Elizabeth Barrett Browning's sonnet number 43, like I said, is perhaps the most famous sonnet in English literature. All right. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. All right. That's oft repeated in movies and on TV. All right. We have 4 minutes before the end of fourth period and the beginning of lunch. This is the conclusion of the program for the morning. The Woodward Academy Shakespearean Sonnet Slam / Festival, the Bard's 450th birthday bash, will reconvene at fifth period starting at 1:25. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming out and supporting our annual event.